Alright, so from here on, we are going to be choosing the things that we'll be drawing. Okay, so we'll be focusing on some of the tools that we haven't used before. For today's lesson, we're going to use Revolve and Fillet, and then the new things would be Sweep and Offset. Okay, so if you want to follow along, read through the tutorials instead of watching my video, the lesson is under Onshape Fundamentals, and it's this one right here, and it will be part design using Part Studios. So continue, and we'll be doing coffee cup. Okay, so I'm going to detach this tab. Okay, so go log into your Onshape and then create a new document, and then name this document exercise coffee cup. Okay. Alright, to begin with, we're gonna start a new sketch. So let me move this out of the way. Let me put it on the other side. So before we even begin drawing, we need to change the units for this activity. So click on the menu, document menu, click on workspace units, and then change this to millimeter. Then check. Okay, now start a new sketch and click on the front plane. Okay, and then right click and say view normal to the sketch plane. Okay, the first thing that we're going to be drawing would be a line. Just going up. Okay, right click escape. So click on that and change this line to a construction line. Okay, and then click on the line tool again and then draw this figure. So it goes up and then to the right. Okay, right click, escape the line, and then draw another one right here, another line, horizontal, parallel to the one at the top but shorter, and then a diagonal line like this. Escape the line and then do a 3-point arc. So 1, 2, and then just click wherever that center dot falls. It's okay. That's how it looks like right now. So let's put some dimensions. So click dimension, this line, the top to the bottom line. Click on it and change it to 100 millimeters. Okay. Next, the height from this point to that point should be 40. Okay, and then the radius for this curve is 90. The next thing that we need to do would be to click on the construction line and click at this vertex right here at this point. Okay, it'll give you a dimension, but you need to drag to give us the radius, right? We've done this before in one of our exercises. So put 75 and then do the same thing here at the top. So click at the construction line and then click at this vertex and then drag to the left of the construction line. It will give you a radius. Click on it and then type 125. Just for clarity, I'm just going to move this thing so that you could see it. Okay, so that's the dimension that we need. So this is a height, this is a radius, same thing, length. This is the diameter. So that's the center point, that's the diameter. That's the center point right there. That's going to be our axis of rotation when we do a revolve later. So now we're going to be using the offset tool, and this is the icon for that. That's the command. But first we have to click on the lines that we're going to be offsetting. It would be this curve, okay, this straight line, and this straight line at the bottom. So click on the offset and then drag this arrow to the inside. So click and then type the number 6. We want this point or this curve to be touching that line, so we're going to be using the coincident constraint, which is this. So you're going to click at that point and then this line, and as you can see, it connects itself to it. And then same thing here. So if you notice that the end right here is still colored blue, so once you click on that and then this line, it will turn black. That means it's fully constrained. So that means it is coincident again. So right click and then escape. Okay, so if you go up here now, click on this edit button, and instead of calling it sketch 1, we're gonna call it main sketch. And then click check, and you'll notice the change right here. So now here in the work area, right click and then just say isometric so that we could see it in perspective, and then click on Revolve, and then we're gonna choose, so it should be solid and it's going to be a new part. So click at this face and also this face. Okay, and then click at Revolve axis and click at this construction line that we made. And notice how it made this full revolve to create the base of our cup. So now click check to accept the feature made. Okay, so down here where it says part, right click on it and let's rename it, and we're gonna call it cup. Okay, so we're gonna create a new sketch again, and we are still gonna be drawing on the front plane. So this is the front plane, but if it's hard for you to figure it out, you could actually click here also where it says front. So click here. Notice that we're sketching on the front plane now. Okay, and then we're gonna right click and say view normal to the sketch plane. Okay, so we're gonna be drawing lines here, so click on the line tool and then just draw a diagonal line like this, and then perpendicular to that line draw another one like so, and then escape the line. Click on this line and then change it to construction. Okay, now we're gonna do a 3-point arc. So click, and allow that center point to hit the line. Okay, and then we're gonna be putting 2 constraints. The first one would be tangent for this curve and this line, and the other one would be coincident. Okay, so you're gonna click on that point and then this construction line. Okay, so now let's add some dimension. So from this point right here to the bottom, this will be 85, and then this point and to the bottom again, this will be 25. Okay, and then the radius of this will be 20. Okay, so the last thing that we need to do now, because it's not still, so as you notice, it's still not fully constrained. So what we're gonna do is we are going to reveal the main sketch. So if you move here where it says main sketch, click on the eye icon to show the main sketch. And then we are going to use coincident constraint on this point and then this line, and then same thing here, this point, this endpoint, and then this line. And then notice it's all in black, which means it's fully constrained. Okay, so before you click on the check, click on the edit icon and we'll call this as path. Click check. We are going to create a new plane, and then this plane will be called a curve point plane. Okay, so the entities that we need would be the curve and then the endpoint right there. That's why it's called the curve point. So we select this line and then we select that point. Okay, so for us to see it, so for us to see the new plane, we're gonna click here and say isometric, and then there's the new plane. Okay, so click check to accept the new plane that's created, and then now we're gonna start a new sketch on that plane, on plane number 1. So click on that plane, and then you right click and say view normal to the sketch plane. Okay, so to make it easier for us, we're going to hide the cup. Focus on the origin. Okay, so that's what you need to focus on. So I just hid the cup, and then let's focus on the origin. we are going to create an ellipse. So click here and then choose ellipse, and then make sure that you hit that origin point. Click and then click once more. Now it allows you to enter a number. This first number will be 14. Press enter. And then the next number is going to be 10. So just type 10. You don't need to click the number. Just type 10 and then press enter. So that's how the handle is going to look like. And also notice that the drawing that you made is all in black, which means it's fully defined. So click on the edit button. Instead of sketch 1, let's type in profile. Then check. Okay, so let's go ahead and reveal the cup again. So click on this eye icon so that we could see the cup. And then click here and say isometric. So we see how it looks like. Okay, so now we're going to choose the sweep. And what we're going to do is we're not going to create a new body, but we're going to add this part to the cup part that we've done already. Okay, so it says here, we need to select the faces and the sketch regions that we're going to be sweeping. First, we need to choose the profile, which is that ellipse that we drew a while ago, which is this one right here. So click on profile and then click here, sweep path, and then that is the path that we drew a while ago. So click here. Okay, and then notice that part was created. Our merge scope is that we want this to be part of the cup. Click check. So here's our cup so far. To avoid confusion, we're going to start hiding some of the things. So like the plane. So let's hide the plane. Okay, and I'm even going to hide the top, the front, and the right. Okay, so that all we can see now is the cup. Okay, but we still want to see the main sketch though. For the next step, we want to hide the cup as well. And what we want to do is do another revolve. Here is when we use the other options under revolve, like remove. Okay, so we're going to choose the part that we want to remove, which is this. Click on the revolve axis and click at the axis. And then the merge scope, we want this to merge with the cup. And then let's have the cup be visible at this point. And then notice how it hollowed the inside of the cup. So accept the revolve feature. And that's what we have so far. Alright, so we won't be needing the main sketch anymore. So we could go ahead and hide the main sketch. And we're going to be adding some fillets. So click at the front view. And then let's click on fillet. And we need a radius of 12. Type 12. And then we're going to click on the bottom part. Okay, see how it started filleting it? Then we're going to move this cup so that we could see the inside of it. So right click, drag and hold, and then click on the inside circle of the cup. And see how it made that rounded as well. Okay, so click check. Alright, so the next one that we need to fillet would be the top of the coffee cup. So fillet, and then this time we're just going to be using 2 millimeters, and then click at the outer circle and then the inner circle, and then check. There you go. Almost done. Okay, so now let's go to the cup, right click on it, and let's assign a material. So search for the material porcelain. Okay, click on that and then check. And then also, if you want to, you could go edit the appearance and choose a color of your liking. So let's say I'm just going to choose this, but you could choose your own color. Finally, click on the cup. So now go to your document menu and click on workspace units, because I just remembered we changed this to the metric system, so we'll change the mass to kilograms. Okay, so now click on the cup and then click on the mass properties and then notice the mass. This is the mass that you should be getting. Okay, so now line up everything, your cup, the mass properties, and your name. Take a screenshot. And this is what you need to submit to alvaricoj@mdusd.net and title it Coffee Cup. So if you finish this, great work.